Hi everyone, it's Debbie from cariadcards.co, and today I'm going to show you how I've made this adorable little box which is made specifically to hold one of these gorgeous little Yankee candles. They do smell absolutely divine. My room smelled lovely since I've had a few of these in to experiment for little gifts to send out to customers. So that's what we're going to be making today. Very simple, very straightforward to do. We're going to be using the envelope punch board to make this, and the envelope punch board comes with its own little scoring tool that slots nicely into there. To do this, all we need is one sheet of 6 by 6 inches DSP. Most of us got plenty of card or DSP lying around in that size. You can do this in card as well. I've just done it in DSP. For any of you who don't know what that means, that's designer series paper. So 6 inches by 6 inches, and I will put all of the measurements on my blog for you, cariadcards.co. So what we're going to do is slot that underneath there, and we're going to measure 1 5/8 of an inch. Now this has very clear imperial markings, so 1 5/8 is exactly there. What we're going to do is press that button to punch, and then use our scoring tool, line it up against there, and you will see there's just one diagonal line there to score, one scoring line. I hope you can see that. So that's what we're aiming for. Put your tool in, take it down. The next measurement is 4 3/8. So I will put these on my blog. 4 3/8, punch and score, and that's all the measurements we need to do. We don't need to do any more measuring after that. So this score line will go in here, and you're aiming to line it up with this notch here, this sort of, I don't know what you call it, sticky outy bit I suppose. We punch and score. Move this up to the second diagonal score line, punch and score. Turn it 90 degrees, do the same, line it up, punch and score. It's very therapeutic doing this. Line it up again, punch and score. And for the final time, take it round. So the beauty of this is you've only got to measure just 2, has that scored? No, not very well. You've just got to measure 2 measurements, and that's it. The board does the rest for you. Punch and score. Now, I'll just move those out of the way. At the back there is a corner rounder. You can leave these like this if you want, or you can round them. So you just put that in, press down. So if you don't have a corner rounder punch, this is effectively 2 punches in one. So rounding my corners. There, I've finished with my board now. So what I'm going to do now is just fold these. I suppose I should have done it that way really. So we had 2 different looking boxes. You can use this, bone folder is better, but seeing as I've got this out and it comes with the envelope scoreboard, I might as well use it. Oops, last one. There we go. So how this box is going to work, that is the bottom bit, these are the edges, and these corner bits will fold in. Now to get them to fold in, we need to just do a little bit of cutting. So the way I do it, and you will find your own way, mine isn't the only way, I go round and cut down that line, and I turn it 90 degrees and just do that each time, because that means that I get to fold one of these onto each of the sides. You'll see what I mean when I come to do it. So I've turned it 90 degrees and I'm just cutting straight down, just down this score line to there. Now I'm also going to what they call wedge, so just take a little bit out. It just means that it fits slightly better when you come to stick it. So I'm wedging it. Now I would normally cut down, wedge, and I'm also going to take a little bit more off in one go, but I just want to show you what I'm doing a few times just so you get the idea. you don't have to do this, but it definitely does sit better. Okay, so I've cut down, I've wedged. Also, I'm going to take a little bit more off because when I fold this up, you'll see some of them overlap a bit, and I don't need that much on there. I just need enough to stick it, so I'm just going to go in and just take off a bit more, and I'm going to do that on all the sides, so just literally just hacking a bit off really, and that's perfectly fine. No measurements to that, just take a bit off so you've got less bulk inside and it sits nicer. So what I'm going to do now is start to put this box together. So I'm going to put some glue on there and then stick it so that it's perfectly straight along there. Now you can use glue, you can use double-sided, whatever you're happy using. Make sure that you've got enough on so that it's going to stick, but not so much that it's going to make the card wet and make it buckle. So just need to hold that in place. It does stick quite quickly. Now if I'd used card instead of DSP, I could have cut out some DSP to just stick onto the faces to decorate it, or I could have even stamped on it as well, and that would have made the box a little bit sturdier. But to be honest, once it's put together, it's actually incredibly sturdy considering it is just DSP. Right, I'm going to continue, put some more glue on. I've got to do this on all four sides, so make sure I get it around the edges. Sorry, I can't really speed this bit up. What I can do though is chatter on with some absolutely inane bits of conversation. One thing I did find out today is that where I live, I did say it was a bit inane, didn't I? Apparently we've got the steepest cycle track, no, not cycle track, we've got the steepest road in the whole of the UK for cyclists. It's got a 40% incline, which I know because I've driven down it. It's so steep, you're only supposed to drive down, not up. No, wasn't that a bit inane, but hopefully it's distracted you from me doing all of this gluing. So I'm on my last side. Oh, that's probably the hardest bit to get into. If I'd been sensible, I probably would have popped that on before I'd got to that stage. Right. Now, you can do it so that you stick two pieces of card onto the slightly longer side, but I tend to like to do it the way I've done it there, so I've got one on each side because I think it just gives it a little bit more rigidity and a bit more stable because you've got the extra layer of card on each box face. Why does everything take so long when you know that people are waiting for you? Okay, right, I should really spend a little bit longer getting that stuck. It will stick on its own, but I don't want it falling apart in front of you. No. So what I'm going to do is take a candle, pop it in, it fits perfectly, and then hold that down. Now, I've cheated a little bit, don't tell anybody. I've just popped a tiny little bit of glue there, just because I'm not very good with ribbon. There. That isn't enough that it's going to damage the box when you open it, but it just holds it steady when I'm coming to tie my ribbon round, because otherwise I end up all fingers and thumbs. Right, now the ribbon that I've used, I write on my ribbons, isn't that awful? It's just I haven't got very good eyesight if I haven't got my glasses on. So this is the Blushing Bride ribbon, and it goes beautifully with this DSP. So I'm just going to pop that on, just measure it roughly by eye. You could stamp a little greeting and pop that on as well. I've decided I'm not going to on this one, I'm just going to put the ribbon on. I just think it looks so pretty. Okay, so that's my ribbon cut, and then just want some linen thread. Cut a little bit off, and then you need to tie that round. Try and get it as tight as you can, but there is a bit of wiggle room, you can push it down afterwards. So it's up to you how many times you tie it round, whether you put a bow, whether you loop it. Okay, now I'm just going to put a little bow on there. Now for some reason bows seem to be easier to do in this linen thread, although I'm still not brilliant at them. But there we go, and then you can just cut the edges down. You can use your scissors to snip that just to make it look a little bit more interesting. And I've been blathering on, as you've probably noticed, but you can make that in a few minutes. It is a very quick make, and doesn't it look gorgeous? What a beautiful gift to receive. Thank you very much for watching. This is Debbie at cariadcards.co.